The stylish rank, remaining HP, and time determine how many points you finally get at the end of the stages. You can trade points for bonus treasure boxes, which allow you to spend more time for next battle.
Yeah! I've heard that song once or twice before. What game is that from? It's totally not a song I've heard for like 10,000 hours over my gaming career. What's up, Brandon? How you doing? Just doing some grinding. Try to see if I can get another little guide out for this before the beta ends. I finished the story. So now it's just, get your grind on. That's all I've got left. I'm wiping at the end of this beta, so... Got a good feel of the game. These enemies suck. One of my least favorite enemies. Not because they don't stagger, it's because they burst out of combos like way too quickly. It's very boring to fight them. A very linear enemy. Linear enemy means there's really only one way to fight them. They take up a lot more time to kill than the other enemies because of how much they burst. So it feels kind of unfair when they give you a lot of those guys. Unless your character's like really decked out, they're gonna eat up way more time than any other enemy. Good run so far though. I finished. Nice. Alright, so what else is there today? I guess the server reset while I was sleeping. I don't quite know when it reset, but it did. Let's see, what was I gonna work on? I don't think it's really worth upgrading the character very much because they're gonna wipe. Kinda defeats the purpose. Kinda just want to check out the moves. See if I can get Beowulf. That's about all I'm after right now. I got some stuff here too. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that they designed this with the controller in mind. It's painfully obvious because it's like actually playable with the controller. And it has native controller support too. They're also like willingly officially sanctioning emulators as well. So the only reason to play this with the touchscreen is if you don't have a controller at all somehow. But I feel like if you like this game, especially since it's a free-to-play game, that you can cough up the cough up the money for a controller. Kind of would be silly not to. You're already playing something with microtransactions. Just buy a controller at that point. There's no reason to play this with a touchscreen. I had no problems getting my controller working at all. Just bada bing, bada boom. Just plugged it in. They said that it's not supporting some common controllers. I don't know much about mobile controllers, but the one that I have is just picked up natively by the game. I didn't have to do anything special. So I gotta work on this. I have a couple more chances to get Beowulf before this beta ends, but unless they hand out a bunch of free shit, I'm not gonna get it. I've had some real shit luck. I got Agni and Rudra, which is nice. That's what I've been using, but I couldn't get Beowulf. Try as I might. The Pity just gave me a legendary sword, which is pretty whack. I haven't even gotten like an epic tier Beowulf, which is all you need to try out the weapon. You don't need a legendary. The legendaries have like different move properties, which I think is pretty cool. they're not just stat sticks like they generally are in games like this. It's actually like it gives you, like, different versions of moves, which I think is pretty awesome. That gives the game a lot of longevity. The fact that you can do that. Okay, so I got co-op, but I don't really want to bother with that just yet. Let's see, did Bloody Palace reset? No, it didn't. Looks like the Bloody Palace does not reset. Let's just do some story. I already finished the story, but you can go back through it, and you can get these boxes. I finished Chapter 1. I finished Chapter 1 and 2. Yeah, the pity in this game is pretty bad. It's not a selector like some of the other games I played, like Honkai Impact and KOF All-Star. It basically just gives you one at random. Which is pretty whack, because it's supposed to be like free-to-play friendly, but when you reach the pity, you can't choose what you get. So you might get something you don't want, or even worse, it could be a dupe, which I think just makes it easier to get weapons, to level up your weapons. Yeah, but they put out a notice today, an announcement today, saying that the free-to-play stuff. I don't mind spending money on the game. It's going to be harder for me because I'm a foreigner. I don't live in China, obviously, but I'll go through the effort to cash on this game. It's worth my money. I could easily see this replacing a lot of the other service games I play, despite the language barrier, but if you're going to have a pity in the game, it should be a selector, and it shouldn't only be once. That's what's pretty stupid about it right now. Normally, when you reach pity in a service game like this, you just get to straight up just pick what you want, but they don't have anything like that. It's basically just, you're guaranteed to get a legendary, but what class of weapon it is, or what type of weapon it is completely random. So, I got lucky. I got this legendary sword that I have to get back right now. It could have easily been something I couldn't even use. You can get something from everything you have. Pretty whack. I got a lot of stuff for Lady, but since this is a service game and it's wiping and getting this beta in a few weeks, I don't really see the point in playing it. He's a lot cooler in this game than DMC4 Special Edition. They gave her a lot more melee moves and stuff, but due to how the game is structured right now, it's really hard to get new moves, so new characters are kind of boring to play, just like a Tales game. Like when you play a Tales game at the beginning and you have like 3 moves, that's how it feels. But they said that they're gonna tweak, they're gonna make it easier to get moves and stuff. It's not really worth it. They're already good. I don't like They're making good use of this beta, and the game is like crazy successful. Like last night when I stopped streaming, the server was so laggy I couldn't even navigate the menus. This game's getting bodied hard. The servers are getting completely annihilated, which is a good thing. It means that there's interest in games like this. Mobile games that have actual gameplay and not just spending money. I think this game is a great thing for the platform it's on. Means that there's going to be more games like this, more mobile games that have actual gameplay and are on par with console, instead of being like a gimped console experience, or, you know, not having any gameplay at all. So, shoutouts to this game. It's got its flaws for sure, but they're doing a pretty good job. This proves that if you make a mobile game and you put effort into it and you actually try to make it have parity with console, even though there obviously still have to be some sacrifices, people will play it. No, I didn't do any of that shady stuff. I used my actual identification. I sent them my ID, and I had to talk to their support, but they fixed it. So none of that shady stuff. It's my actual identification is tied to the account. I didn't want to do stuff like that. Really wanted to play this game, but not that much. The site that the Billy account actually does let you sign up with American IDs and stuff, so that's what I did. He also mentioned the fact that it's overheating phones and stuff. I noticed that a lot after I play it for like 20 minutes. It gets really choppy, and I thought it was just my phone. My phone is prone to overheating when it plays high load, when it's under high load. But apparently that's happening to everybody, so... I'm glad that they're going to make it easier to get moves, because it definitely feels like right now the progression's kind of messed up. Like, you need moves to be able to do damage, but you have to spend like all of your resources on them, so the other aspects of your character really suffer. Also, there's weird, like, disproportionate health values in this game. Some enemies feel like they have, like, 10 times more health than others. Like, some of the bosses felt like they had, like, way too much health. Some of the elite class enemies felt like you spent too much time on them, so it's kind of unfair when you get them in a fight. If you're, like, on a time limit or something, because you're spending, like, probably 3 or 4, maybe even 5 or 6 times more time on that one enemy than anything else in the wave. That's one thing I noticed during my playthrough this. I finished all the story content. Now it's just kind of grind mode. Oh, this game is very popular, just not in America. I would hope they would localize this, but at the same time, I don't want them to screw it up, like they tend to do. Because a lot of times with games like this, they do get localized, but the publisher they get to do it does a crappy job, and then the game ends up dying. A good example is Tales of the Rays. That game's a really good mobile action game too. But that game died off really fast because they did such a shit job localizing it and marketing it. They didn't advertise it at all, so it died really quickly. I'm totally willing to just keep playing this in a language I can't really read. I like the game enough to see myself doing that, but it would be nice if they did localize it. I'm expecting them to not localize it, or it to be a Tales of the Rays scenario where they localize it but they do a shit job and the game dies off. I'm going into it expecting that to happen. I hope I'm wrong, but pretty obvious outcome. Unless they do it themselves, like a lot of these action-based service games have been doing. Like Closers is basically run by the developers themselves, so they don't have that issue. And it probably costs them a lot less to not have to license it out to somebody else. They can just handle all the management themselves. It's got a lot of its own unique environments. The controls don't feel bad, which is just more proof that the standard DMC control scheme is not good. It makes it too hard to do certain actions. I know a lot of people disagree with me, but this game actually does a lot right. It doesn't feel dumbed down at all. It's different, yes. Dumbed down, no. You're seeing the stuff that I'm doing like enemy step combos and shit. That's not the kind of thing you expect from a mobile game. Feels like it's made for a controller that doesn't actually exist. Yes. Exactly. There's definitely some limitations to this, don't get me wrong, but it feels better than the mainline games by a large margin. People have brought this up a lot about DMC accessibility. Like, to do Showdown, you need to hold R1, and then push forward, and then you need to push triangle and circle at the same time. Can you imagine doing that when you're physically impaired? You basically can't do something like that. A lot of people that are physically impaired can't move their hands that way. It's cool how this game... There definitely are some problems with it. The fact that Stinger is tied to dashing feels really weird. You can't like Stinger on demand, but I think it still does a pretty good job. These puzzles suck too, by the way. They're really boring, slow. Probably not gonna get the time bonus, as it took too long. Oh, I got it, nice. Triple S. Wow, cool. The last level was pretty bad with the puzzles. Yeah, that's one thing this game has as a benefit too. You can play through the whole game with whatever character you like, which is better than how 5 does it, where you have characters like V that most people don't like playing, and you're stuck playing as him. And he's, like, awful to play as. What's up, Thurns? I normally would not be streaming at this time, but I didn't go over to my neighbor's house for lunch. I just ate here. I'm pretty tired. I've been working really tirelessly on these guides and stuff, so... I probably will probably still do the kitty sitting stream today. I might not play this that much, though. I might play some other stuff, because now that I know the heating issue is not exclusive to me, I might not want to play it as much. I'm gonna reset this. Yes, reset, please. Told you to reset. Ah, V's a shitty character. He's not even written in a good way. Why would you say a character is made for beginners? Why would you say a character is made for beginners and then in the story just make him Virgil? doesn't make any sense. Like, why? Like, why would you make a character for new players and then just say, oh, he's the human half of Virgil, and he's not coming back again? Like, why didn't you make him his own separate entity? So he sucks to play, and he doesn't even serve the purpose that he's supposed to. being a character for people that aren't like, super into this kind of He has really messed up hitboxes. Hitboxes are crazy. He has too much health, too. Man, V's a pointless character because he's just Virgil in the story, which doesn't make any sense. They could have easily made it not Virgil and had another character serve the purpose of being V. Like the human half of Virgil. They could have made that like an NPC, and then they could have had just somebody else join Nero and Dante that beginners could play. I like to call it fake accessibility because he's just Virgil. Wonderworld, I heard that game is terrible. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and get the star for this.
Come on, baby. Come get
Oh, I got all the stars. Nice. Never mind. Okay, that was worth a gold orb. I actually managed to get all the objectives. Alright, cool, I got a free loot box. I hear that Balin Wonderworld game is dreadful. Because they got like a shovelware team to do it. Standard game development fare. You get like the worst teams to make games like that. It also has like that old school marketing to it too, where it's like try to get people hyped up on the cinematics. Give me Beowulf, game. Ah, you bitch. Damn it. No dice, folks. I tried. See if I got any of those item boxes. No. Very low on resources right now. Yeah, Genshin Impact looks really boring to me. I don't get the appeal of that game. Looks like the combat depth is like non-existent. Why would I ever play that over something like this? Messing up my enemy steps. I'm gonna miss this game when it's out of beta. I'm gonna have to go back to KOF. KOF's got that collab going, but I don't really care about the... I don't even know what that IP is. What's it called? Seven Deadly Sins? I don't know anything about that. I'm not really excited for it at all. I wonder how busted those characters are going to be, though. I'm curious about that part.
Death Banshee is empowered when surrounded by aura of hatred. Land attacks carefully, even if it has been knocked down. Using rapid attacks can break the aura.
I've never heard of it, because I'm old. Something that would be like Street Fighter or something. These guys. Why does every game have to have an annoying enemy like this? Just run away and fly and waste your time. What's the point of enemies like this? Just to get on your nerves. I like how they can basically go out of bounds too. They're like mildly better than the Fallen, but they're still prone to the same thing. They can actually go up higher than you can move or jump. No, they're just stuck up there camping and wasting time. Shit enemy design. Every enemy like that is shit terrible design, but that one takes the cake. They don't really seem to have much of a height restriction, so sometimes while you're fighting the other enemies, they'll just fly like basically out of bounds. It can be even hard to tell that they're still there unless you notice their projectiles. A little bit unfair that they can do that. really glad I didn't get Virgil with those free 10 loot boxes, because all this shit's getting wiped. All of it is getting wiped. Basically would just mean I would have to do it again. That's why my only goal during the next couple days of this beta is just to try to get Beowulf and check it out. I don't really have any other goals besides that. I need to figure out how to cash on this game, because when it comes back, I definitely will. I will spend money on it. I'm just not quite sure exactly how to do that. It's like kind of complicated. I don't think you can do it like other foreign games and just get gift cards. That's what I did for PSO2. No real point in spending money right now anyway. This dog gets wiped. All gets wiped. They're refunding the money you spent. You don't get to keep anything. I could definitely see myself dropping like 60 bucks on this when it comes out and just get most of the moves. That way a lot of the free progression stuff they give you I could just use for the stat part of the character. Seems like the best way to do it. They are going to make the progression a lot easier though. They mentioned that in the developer note today. They're getting a lot of complaints about it, which is understandable. It takes way too much to get new moves, and they want you to... They have, like, other stuff to spend resources on, too. It's like, the game is boring when you only have, like, 3 moves, so... It feels a little bit disjointed. Like, you can't, right now, you can't, the way it's structured, you can't, like, get new moves and actually strengthen your character at the same time. You're either going to have a pretty nice moveset like I do, and relatively gimped character in terms of stats, or you're going to have a ton of stats and like 3 moves, which is boring for reasons I don't need to explain. Feels a little off. What's up, man? Okay, where does it want me to go? Am I, like, soft-locked in here? I don't understand what it wants. What was wrong with just going from room to room and fighting shit? I hate when they deviate from that. Just copy 5's design. Just rooms with dudes to fight, and nothing else. I hate this shit. I get stuck and I don't know what to do. It's not why I freaking play these games. I play them to fight. There's nowhere to go. I can't get out of here. It won't let me. I hate shit like this. Just solve the puzzle in a cutscene. I don't want to do this. It's boring. Just having fun going from room to room fighting, and they have to break it up with shit like this. Where does it want me to go? It's like, come on, you've had like 20 years of these games to learn from. Was it this? Oh, okay. I don't see the point of stuff like that, though. There is no point. If I wanted to solve puzzles, I would play a puzzle game. It's really hard to tell that there is an extra path over there because of the camera. I forgot Monster Hunter Rise came out. I wish I cared, but I don't. When are they gonna put Tonfas back in Monster Hunter? Then I would play. The answer is never. This game's coming out on PC anyway. Can't wait for the new Switch. It's like all but confirmed at this point. There's been lots of rumors about it and stuff, saying it's gonna have like DLSS and stuff. Like, man, that's really awesome. They're saying it's slated for the holiday season this year, which I think is gonna be crazy. Like, how many units are they gonna be able to make? It's desperately needed, though. I really don't think the Switch can last much longer with the hardware it's got right now. It's really gonna start limiting what they can put on it, especially with ports. That's why I still have my launch Switch. I knew there was gonna be another one at some point. I don't think they'll probably give much trade value for it. I'm planning on just hacking it. That seems like the best thing to do with it. Just hack it. Mess around with mods and stuff. A lot of the games are going to run better by default too, which I think is really cool, because that's why most Switch games run uncapped, I think. I think they've known that a new Switch has been in the works for a long time. So pretty much anything with an uncapped frame rate is just going to magically run better, which is really awesome. It's only stuff with like a hard cap of 30 FPS, I think that will need patches. I think most games will probably end up getting patches though.
Coming back.
Is Monster Hunter Rise any good? I don't really know anything about Monster Hunter. I heard it fixed some of the problems with World, but I don't really know anything about World either. I tried playing that game and I got really irritated with the fucking cutscenes. How much they talk about things they don't care about. Oh, I'm positive Rise is going to get a 60 FPS patch too. That's like an evergreen title, pretty much. So probably like maybe the beginning of next year, whenever the Switch 2 comes out. Whenever the Switch 2 comes out, they'll probably just patch it. I would expect pretty much all the big games to get patched with performance. Get a performance patch. Smaller games, it's going to vary, but a lot of the games run uncapped anyway, so it pretty much would be a straight upgrade. Some games are like that on the PS5 too. Some of them do. Some of them run better without a performance patch. It's mostly stuff that was hard coded at 30 that doesn't. But developers are starting to do that a lot less now, which is good. It's not fun when you have to wait for a patch for your game to run properly. Let me guess, a fight down here? I was right. Well, the Ori port apparently was a nightmare. Apparently it ran at like 20 FPS. They had to work really hard to get it to run. I don't think that one can be used. A lot of the problem is the engines. Pretty large chunk of games are Unreal Engine right now, and the Unreal Engine like barely works on the Switch. The current Switch. Like, just barely works. So the only way it's going to run better is if they, like, optimize it like crazy, or they do, like, dynamic resolution. Which is the funny part about Age of Calamity, is it does use dynamic resolution, but it, like, doesn't help. That's part of what makes it so nauseating to play for certain people, too. It's not just the poor frame rate, it's the dynamic resolution. It gets, like, incredibly blurry. So your eyes are having a hard time focusing. I got tired of all the people telling me, oh, you should see a doctor because the game makes you sick. And it's like, no, I don't need to see the doctor. I had my eyes checked, like, barely a year ago. My eyes are completely fine. I have 20/20 vision. There's nothing wrong with my eyes. It's the game. Certain people get sensitive to that kind of thing. People can only think about themselves, so they blame me. It's like, well, it's not my fault the game runs like shit.
Old school.
Consider yourself lucky. You can play games that run terribly like that. I'm not so lucky. I don't have the genes to be able to do that. I imagine that game will probably get a patch too, because that game sold like over 1 million copies. I can't see them not doing it.
take your wings for a barbecue?
It's weird how they didn't design the Switch in mind with the most popular game development engine. That's why a lot of the games run bad. Unreal Engine 4 and the current Switch don't mix. Why do they have to bring this boss back? So boring to fight. Fuck flying bosses. You spend so much time, you just can't hit him. It's boring. It's not hard at all. It's just boring. Why do they have to bring him back? No one likes this boss. It's too much health. Should have been dead by now. Stop flying. I don't understand why they still make bosses like this. We've known for like 40 years that people hate bosses like this. Boring and tedious and frustrating. Just keep running away. Stay on the fucking ground. Why can't I cut his wings off? He like never gets stunned either, and the hitbox when he pounces is crazy. You need to cut the enemy, the boss health. Stun value feels like it's way too high. I have a pretty decent character too, and these guys take forever. Some of the bosses just take ages. What's worse is this fucker keeps flying and running away. Wasting time. Get stunned, please. Get shit, boss. Ban flying enemies from action games. Always like this. Yep, run away some more and waste time. Make it so I have like 20 seconds where I can't do anything. Come on. I get it, you can fly. You can stop doing that now. just never get stunned. Alright. Fuck this stupid boss.
Who's ready for a jump?
Garbage. Come on, stop flying. People love puzzles and flying enemies, right? Let's just keep putting them in every game. It wasted my DT because he just decided to go fucking flying again. Fuck you. Good time waster, boring boss. Ugh. Come on, you've flown like 30 times already. Fuck Griffin. Why did he have to come back? This is so frustrating. Like, how many times can he do this? So stupid. Just fucking come down.
Hey, you can do better than that.
Stop running away, fucking pansy. God damn, this is so annoying. Fucking garbage boss. What the hell were they thinking? So stupid.
Well, more work to do.
Just like straight up remove that boss from the game. It's awful. It's like common sense to not put that kind of enemy in a game. Especially when there's like no limit to how much he can do it. You really need a lot of damage to make that even remotely fun. It's not fun at all. It's not hard to dodge his attacks, it's just frustrating because you get impatient because you're stuck there waiting forever. Felt like I had like very few opportunities to attack him. Terribly designed. Give me Beowulf for putting up that shit boss fight. Give me Beowulf. Come on. I've suffered enough. Give me Beowulf. Yeah, somehow that boss is worse than the Owl in Neo 2, who has a lot of the same shitty design. You spend so much time running away and waiting. You can't, like, actually interact with the enemy. You're just watching, which is stupid. You only get one pity, and you can't pick what you want. It's not a selector. It's really whack. I already got the pity, and it just gave me something I didn't really want. Something they definitely need to fix. I didn't think it was possible to make a boss worse than the Owl in Neo 2, but the thing about the Owl in Neo 2 is you can break his key, and you can wail on him for a significant amount of time. So if you're doing good DPS, it's less of an issue. But with this fucking boss, there's no mechanic like that, so he just keeps flying and wasting your time and making you want to go insane. Really terribly designed. Kinda trying to save up for Beowulf, but the game won't fucking give it to me.
I know.
Yeah, you're a
Griffin
jerk.
took the crystal.
Shut up. You're a jerk because this game won't give me the weapon I want to use.
If the office shuts down, don't underestimate the demon hunters.
Oh, it's actually gonna pad me and make me do this. Ah. Yeah, the only thing that makes, like, flying bosses work is if there's, like, a consistent way to stun them. But here, it's just the standard stun value stuff. And a lot of times he doesn't give you the opportunity to even do that in the first place. So you spend a lot of time waiting, which is not interesting. His attacks are not hard to dodge at all. The attacks are actually pretty fair. It's just what happens is you get impatient because you have so little time to actually do any kind of damage. And if your character is not really decked out with upgrades and stuff, it just takes forever. And that's kind of the problem with it. I can't believe I actually want to fight the Owl and Neo 2 again after that shit boss fight. Generally, enemies that you can't hit or turn invincible they're just not fun. There really isn't a way to design them to be fun. Royal Guard feels pretty weak in this game too. I definitely have noticed that. It takes a lot longer to build up the bar than it does in DMC 5. Seems like staying in Tricksters is more viable right now. It's actually quite responsive, especially for a mobile game. You do have a lot of mobility.
Is it my turn already? Where is Dante? Fine. My time to shine.
This is the other problem, too. I'm glad they're addressing this in the beta. To weapon switch, you need 150,000 orbs. Playing a new character in this beta, it seems kind of pointless. It's nice to check out what they can do, but unless you cache, it's going to take a really long time. The beta's only up for, like 5 more days? The lady in this game is way better than the one in 4 Special Edition, but right now, it doesn't seem viable to invest in more than one character. And they already said that they're going to fix it. Actually, let me pull up the, let me tab out here. Let me pull up the developer note. Hold on. So they're going to let you get Lady from clearing Chapter 1. That will definitely help. You can change the weapon skins for free. So they're going to fix the progression. Right now the progression is pretty jacked up because, you know, it's a character action game. You want a lot of moves. But right now, If you focus on moves, your character is going to be statistically weak. So it's cool that they're changing that. They're going to reduce the paid content. I don't know what the price range is. I don't know the conversion rate from UN to dollar, but they're going to adjust that. Battle Pass is going to be cheaper to get. They're going to optimize Virgil, because apparently barely anybody could get him. And this is the most interesting one to me. When people are just mentioning, like, heat and stuff and other weird things, like, seems like the game memory leaks and it heats the phones up too much. I noticed that. I can play it for like 20 minutes and then it starts to really chug. And I have to like turn the game off and just like let it sit for a while. So that part is not just me. My phone is prone to overheating, but I've never seen it happen to that point. You're gonna reduce the file size, just whatever to me. You're going to incorporate more controller models. Mine was picked up by the game like right away. I didn't have any problems with that. And then they're gonna make it run better in emulator. I noticed it's kind of choppy right now, which is kind of weird because I gave it like every core of my CPU, and I gave it like way more RAM than a phone would have, and it's still kind of choppy sometimes. So shout outs to these guys. That's a crazy amount of changes. Most of the problems of the game are going to be fixed right away. I'll never understand when they make games like this and then they don't let you use a controller. Oh wow, that's sick. Yeah, this lady is way cooler than the base game one. Oh, that's nice. It's a relaunch too. What's this? Nice. Oh yeah. Well, let me see what weapon I have. Do I have the submachine gun? Yeah, I do. Huh. It's kind of pointless to play as her, unfortunately, due to how the game is designed right now. By the time I got her anywhere near good stuff, the game would shut down. And everything's getting wiped, like I said. I didn't see a point in getting Virgil either. They gave you free loot boxes to try to get him, but I didn't get him.
Again?
Progression's kind of really flawed right now. It doesn't seem
it.
worth playing as anybody but Dante, which is unfortunate. They put a lot of work into Lady, but the way this game is right now, feels like you're kind of wasting your time. It's better to just check out the game and give feedback, which is what they're already listening to, which is pretty cool. Let's see if I can translate these. Maybe this will help with the grind a little bit. Pull out my phone. I already got my overview out, so I've been pretty hooked on this game, though. I was gonna stop playing, but I like it. Increased demon rage value. Let's check out some of these other ones. Let's see. Combo burst. Huh. Just want to see like what some of the affixes are. Okay, that's health. Seems kind of pointless. Alright, let's try that one. Let's see what this one is. Oh, air combat up. Yeah, I'll take that. Cool. Let's work on Agni Rudra. What do we got here? Cool. Air combat. Especially for this weapon. That's like... seems like the best you can get. Alright, well, I think that's all I can really do with that. Oh wow, looks like there's a 30XX stream right now. They're gonna be showing some new features, so I'm gonna go ahead and watch that actually. I go to my kitty sitting job in about 3 hours, so I will see you guys there. I'll play as much of this as I can, but now that I know it's not just my phone that's having problems with it, I might cool it off a bit. Might just play for a couple minutes and then switch to another game to cool it off, or fix the memory leak or whatever. There's not much of the game left. I have like 2 chapters left. At this point, it pretty much would just be try to get Beowulf, or maybe try to get some more moves here. Put up like a quick combo video or something. I think that would be the goal at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch that right now, and I'll catch you guys later today for sure. And then probably about, I estimate 3.5 hours is when I'll come back, because I have to run an errand for my neighbor. I have to go to the grocery store for her. So after that, I'll probably be on. I'll catch you guys in a few hours.